sit back, cause it's judging Silicon Valley.
Now, give it up for your hosts, Ryan and Jeff. Woo!
All right, everybody. There we go. I changed it up a little bit for you, Jeff. Welcome to Judging Silicon Valley. Of course, this is the podcast where we judge Mike Judge's show about Silicon Valley. I'm Ryan Cronin. Sitting next to me is Jeff Reitman. Jeff, how are you?
Jacob's sitting next to you.
I mean, our guest here. There we go. Our guest here is very excited to have this man. I don't really care about Jeff, so we're just going to jump right in here. Our guest, very excited to have this man here. First time here for our season 2, episode 5 recap of Silicon Valley. Episode titled
Eventually
Server
he'll
Space.
get to your name.
It's Jacob Rubin, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Holy
Whoa.
Yeah, that was real loud.
Whoa.
I'll dial it back from now on.
rip headphone users.
Yeah.
There we go. Jacob, how are you? It's good to see you.
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah, you're
Ryan and Jeff.
you're looking relaxed. You're looking like a man who had some gin and tonic.
We did a little bit of drinking.
Where'd you get gin and tonics?
A little bar on the Mission called Doc's Clock.
Doc's Clock.
Be sure to check them out.
There you
Their
go.
happy hour stops at 9 p.m., which is a great way to drink a lot.
So here we are. It's the Monday after Mother's Day. Gentlemen, did you all talk to Mom yesterday? That's what's important.
No.
You did not talk to Mom.
No, Jeff didn't.
Okay, so
Jeff didn't.
end of that story.
She's,
But you could have. And
I could have. She's a bit ashy.
Yeah, in a spiritual way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I did call. No one picked up.
Yeah.
For sure.
And for the 10th year, I cried.
Yeah.
But
Oh, wow. 10 years.
she hasn't picked up for 10 years.
Okay.
Oddly enough, Jacob, your mother is also ashy, but in a different way.
Right. Bad skin.
Yeah.
Terrifically
Eczema?
bad skin.
A lot of
My
eczema?
mom has great skin.
Yeah.
In case you're
Yeah.
listening, Mom.
She's no Kim Kardashian with
case-
her eczema problem, right?
In case you've decided to start watching Silicon Valley. Actually, I think she did start watching Silicon Valley.
Not the
your mom did.
podcast.
My mom did. Yeah, I think her and my dad have been watching a lot of DVDs on the old Netflix.
Yeah.
DVDs?
DVDs, yeah.
Not
digital,
the Blu-rays?
Digital video. Do they put TV shows on Blu-ray?
Yeah, dude.
This TV show?
Do they sell DVDs
I'm sure
anymore?
they do. HBO puts everything on Blu-ray.
All right,
Any
well-
way to get cash.
And yeah, so Mom, if you're listening, you're not ashy. You're fine.
You can also get it Amazon now. First season, because they
That's
have all
true.
the HBO for free now.
Oh, that's great.
That's true.
Oh, good for them. And now we have HBO Now, or whatever the hell it's
Big
called.
deal.
Yeah.
It's a game changer. It's a game changer.
So we're not going to talk about Mad Men, is what you're saying?
We can.
No, we won't have to.
Nope.
We don't have to.
I'm curious, Jeff, here about the Mother's Day thing.
Yeah.
Is for me,
Yeah.
I have to be privy to the other call to my wife's mother to say Happy Mother's
My
Day.
wife's mother, God bless her,
God bless
God
her.
bless her.
does not like me. So that gets me
That's
out of that
great.
conversation.
Oh, that's so good.
100% of the time.
So you
That must be nice.
never have to talk to your mother,
I don't want to say never,
but not on Mother's
but
Day.
only when she needs something. And it's like, oh, I'm coming over for Christmas. Is that okay?
Yeah.
She feels obligated to ask,
Yeah.
right? Because it's half my house
Yeah.
as well, or apartment, but yeah. So yeah,
I mean, I've only,
yeah.
this is the only time I've been here. I call this a house.
It is kind of. I
it
mean,
is an apartment that
yeah.
we're renting it. It's
Sure.
not-
It's true. It's true.
We are in a dining room.
Yes.
A room for dining.
Yeah.
Yes.
With nominal cat skeletons.
Right.
Nominal. No, but I'm with you, Jeff. I mean, I'm at the point
I mean,
now
there
in
is
the
a
marriage.
Star Destroyer in
Right.
the dining room.
Yeah, I
It's
noticed the Star Destroyer. I noticed the 14, 20-something bottles of liquor.
There's a lot.
What's interesting is we talk about what's over to this side of the screen in a lot of episodes. I don't think you should ever show it on camera
there's-
because it's a mystery to
A
viewers.
Star Destroyer
I
and
forget
alcohol.
I
Everyone
forget that we're
always talks
filmed.
about what's over here. Yeah.
Board games over
We're being
here.
filmed, yes.
And you guys can see the posters. And then there's the largest closet door ever made.
It is
behind the
It's
camera.
almost 5 feet wide.
Yes.
which is crazy.
It is
crazy.
definitely a
Yeah.
custom build, which I'm
And-
sure everyone tuned in to
Yeah.
hear about my
But
my dining room.
Closet.
it's always slightly ajar, which makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Like what was just happening before we showed up. I
It's the
don't
girl.
know.
It's the girl from The Ring.
Yeah.
My wife and I were talking to my dead mother
Oh, she's in there.
in the closet.
Wow.
She's the girl from The Ring.
Yeah. Yep.
Happy Mother's
My
Day.
dad doesn't listen to this podcast either,
That's
so
good
it's
to hear.
good. It's good.
Speaking of Mother's Day, I'm sure a lot of people took their mothers to Olive Garden It's a family restaurant. I used to work at Olive
Oh,
Garden.
is it a family restaurant?
It's a family restaurant. But I did note...
Which is better, Olive Garden or Buca di Beppo?
Buca de Beppo.
Buca de Beppo
Of course.
definitely better.
Olive Garden's terrible.
wanted to check.
But I did notice this actually today, Olive Garden announced, because they're almost going bankrupt. They are going to be offering meatball sandwiches made with their breadstick bread, which is actually kind of enticing to me.
How?
But you know
Sounds
that they're on their
gross.
last legs.
What does
where
it
they're
say about
what are we
me?
going to do? Yeah.
What does it say about me that I've never been to Olive Garden in my life?
It says that your family has great taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're born and bred Bay Area,
Bay Area, Oakland, California.
Oakland, California.
So
okay.
I'd never been to Olive Garden until I was like 25.
Okay, I'm 26.
Yeah, and it was only because a company event happened
Sure.
that like someone was going
Yeah.
away their last like lunch kind of thing.
And this is what they wanted.
Well, no, it was just like cheap and easy to just put it all on a credit card and not.
That's
you know.
true.
But you're originally from Pennsylvania, and like I'm from Ohio. All we have are those things.
No,
What-
we have local Italian restaurants you go to. You don't go to fucking Olive
In
Garden.
Philadelphia, that's true.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's still Olive Garden. San Francisco
There
is
is.
so weird because they keep all of the chains out of
Yeah.
San
But there's
Francisco.
one, I'm sure, in the East Bay somewhere.
There's one like out in like the farthest reaches of like Pleasanton.
You go to like
I think.
Dublin, yeah. You go to
Yeah.
Dublin or Pleasanton or Castro Valley, even. And
Yeah.
you'll- I mean, that's where
It's
we
not
shove.
far. It's like
There used
20
to be-
minutes.
There used to be,
But like, why make that a destination dinner?
back in my day, there was a Hooters in Fisherman's Wharf, and
Yes.
now if you want to go to Hooters,
That
you
was
got
only
to
2
take a
years ago.
BART.
That was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago. Now it's abandoned. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's nothing in that real estate.
There is something there.
No, I was there about 2 months ago, and there's nothing
So
there.
there was like a well, maybe they didn't take out any of the furniture, but it's still in there. But I was on the backside. There's like a courtyard by the In-N-Out.
Yep.
And you could see all the shit in there. I thought it was just closed for the day.
No, it's closed
The
for
sign is-
Well, I knew
eternity.
Hooters
Yeah.
was gone, but I thought something else had moved in because it still looks like you could turn the lights on and like have an event.
No, it's been closed, but the dummy girls have kept showing up for work for the past 2 years.
In those horrendous stockings, those nasty
Yeah, those weird
70s
like,
brown.
Yeah,
like,
like what a rapist would wear on his head. Stockings.
the
Yeah.
ones that what were the
Yeah.
names like the ones that came out of those like egg
legs.
Legs.
L apostrophe eggs. Yeah.
God,
They just made fun of those. on Mad Men.
terrifying. Anyway,
So, I thought I was
So
talking
happy,
about-
happy Mother's Day,
we're
everybody.
10 minutes.
I
in.
had a good mother. So my mother came to my comedy show. I had a comedy show last night.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. You had a Mother's Day themed quiz show.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
quiz show called Answer Me. It's every second Sunday at Lost Weekend Video.
We're gonna do plugs later, but if you want to get that out.
Too late.
Okay, all right. It's a
Ahead
fun.
of the game.
It's a fun show.
They call
actually.
me
It's a
ahead
very
of the
fun
game,
show.
Reuben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ahead of the game, Reuben.
Head of the game, Reuben. That's my nickname.
Not head of the class, Reuben.
No, head of the game.
Huh.
No, he wasn't very
It's
good
weird
at school.
because I get a lot of Arvin out of you from head of the class. I don't know, but okay, all right.
What's that reference? Show of hands.
Probably our listener base, all
Probably.
66 of them. Okay, so here we are, everybody.
Come
This
on
is-
now.
Okay, I know. Actually, you guys are doing great out there. This is episode 5, titled Server Space, directed once again by Mike Judge. I'm surprised there were guest
What?
directors in season 1 and season 2. We had Mike Judge do episode 1
the
and
Beavis
2.
and Butthead guy.
Yes, that's right. That's right,
Christ.
Jacob.
Ahead of the game.
Episode 3 and 4 is Alec Berg as the director. Now Mike Judge stepping back in for episode 5. So these guys are not fucking around here. This was a fun episode. I know we were talking about episode 4. To me, I felt like no stakes were raised. There was no forward momentum. Personally, I think this episode was just moving. There was a lot of momentum of change, even though they ended up back at the exact same place. But at least someone was hearing my notes out there that
Somebody
there was change.
got
Yeah.
to move multiple times in this episode.
Yes.
There was a lot of non-movement.
Yeah,
but there was
yeah.
one character that had three different bedrooms.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you want to hit that up now, or do you want to get into your recap? Let's get your
You tell me. You tell me.
Let's
you tell
nail
me.
your recap.
Let's start with
Okay.
the cold open. Is that how you take these notes?
No, the recap is going to be hard because there was a lot of change here. So I'm gonna
Okay,
do-
you want me to do the recap?
Yes, please. Here we
Okay,
go.
at the beginning of the episode, they're moving out of the house because the house is no longer going to fit their needs. They're looking at a space
Tiny.
Dinesh really likes because there's a hot chick model that happens to stop by. They end up not being able to afford it because they need
10
server
seconds.
space because Hooli's fucking them out of servers. Instead, they decide to open a server rack in the garage where Jared is sleeping and their neighbor's an asshole.
20 seconds. Well done.
Well done.
You missed some points.
I know, but
you
that's
got
the
you got
high
it in there.
level.
20
High
seconds. That's
level.
impressive. That's impressive. All right.
It's always models. You ever notice that? Remember on Friends
What's that? What is this you're speaking of?
the hit sitcom Friends.
Oh, yeah.
It was about a bunch of friends.
Think you can catch it on Nick at Night now?
Probably. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Right after Hot in Cleveland. But for some reason wins awards and no one watches.
They're still showing I Love Lucy on there, but
So, Jacob, as a first time here, as we do with first time guests, my question to you, before we get into the episode itself, my question to you would be your overall impression of this series, and also, as you are actually a born and bred local here, how this relates to your real life experience.
All 26 years.
Yeah, I mean,
26
you've been
years.
here
Don't leave a year out.
since embryo, apparently.
so well, one, I think the series has been terrific so far. I think that this is a step in the right direction for HBO.
Okay.
I mean, I went through a really big, like most white males, I went through a really big Entourage phase, all of which is regretted.
Yeah, the movie's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Doesn't it seem like it's too late for that movie?
I plan on picketing that movie.
I don't regret the first 2 seasons.
I plan on-
I regret continuing.
Yeah.
I plan
It
on
got
sitting
really
outside of
bad.
the movie theater holding a sign that says you could be living a better life than this.
Yeah.
Because that movie, that show, just like really the devotees of that show are just people who deserve my pity.
Here's the thing: is my morning commute on the BART is what's the name of the star of Entourage, the star movie
Vinny
star,
Chase.
Vinny Chase, and the actor is Adrian
Grenier.
Yeah, there's posters of him on BART.
Ugh.
Like posing because he's a like a spokesman for like water conservation.
Yes.
and it's like, and he's
For
like
some reason.
and I you know, I'm already hungover, but I'm throwing up in my mouth
On your
because
way
of that.
to work. You're already...
I'm painting a picture of who I am in the morning.
Right.
I'm already upset, and I have to stare at him like, and he's like wearing like Levi's 501 button flies and
Right.
like, you know, hand on the hip.
And if I'm not mistaken, he's doing finger guns.
Well, pew 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 with his eyes. He's
Right.
doing finger guns. But anyhow,
By the way, the sound of your pew 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 was gorgeous.
wow,
Thank you.
On the
wow,
audio
wow,
track.
Jacob Rubin. He's done podcasts before. Apparently,
I have
Wow.
3.
Yeah.
Well, I'll plug later.
Yeah, I know you.
So-
People should check out the catalog of the Roof Pizza.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Step in the right direction.
Sure.
Entourage was a tragedy.
Entourage was a bad idea for everyone.
So overall, you like the series.
Overall, I mean, I was watching it even before I found out that you're doing a podcast about it. Like, I decided, like, this is I love Mike Judge. I mean, I think of this, I'm sure that this has been said on your show before, this is the best possible. I would never want an Office Space sequel. I think Office Space is exactly what it needs to be, but this is what an Office Space sequel should look like.
Oh, yeah.
Similar
Oh, yeah.
characters,
or
similar
Office
settings.
Space series.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like-
If they were to make an Office Space TV series, it's got similar ideas. People who are sort of caught up in this drudgery and bureaucracy of this commercial climate, and they managed to put a really funny spin on it. And I love the 5 core members of the cast. I've followed other things that they've done.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see them prosper in some way. Kumail and T.J. Miller, who are 2 terrific stand-ups. Zach Woods from The Office, Martin Starr, who I don't know if you guys have talked about Party Down on this show, but Party Down
Actually, no. We have. We're aware of that. We haven't talked.
Party
about
Down is, in my opinion, the greatest sitcom of all time.
Well, here's where, Jacob, we were talking about this earlier over the gin and tonics,
Right.
everybody. But you
Which I did not get to partake in. I was left out yet again.
You mentioned. Well, we had other business to talk about, but you mentioned.
Are you talking about a certain
No,
Brian
no,
Fields?
no. Well, we are talking about Brian Field.
Fucker.
But, Jacob mentioned that during San Francisco Sketch Fest, which was a big comedy festival in San
right.
Francisco.
Oh, my God.
Jacob bumped into or saw
I witnessed.
the cast. You witnessed the cast of Silicon Valley.
It was at the Hotel Kabuki, which is where they have most of the parties for Sketchfest nowadays.
Yes.
And I saw Kumail, Middleditch, and Zach Woods.
And Zach Woods.
And
Jared, yeah.
Jared, yeah. And one female accompanier. I didn't recognize her. She was obviously the girlfriend of one of them. It was hard to tell which.
Okay.
I know Kumail is married and he has a podcast with his wife, The Indoor Kids. Right? If I'm not mistaken?
Perhaps it would be on Earwolf. If
It would be on Earwolf.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was his wife, but it was a woman who was with one of them, and it was the 4 of them, and they were all hanging out. And I was speaking to another SF comedian, and I said, Zach Woods looks like he is coming down from the largest amount of heroin that a human can take without dying.
So he was like deathly pale?
He looked very
Sweating?
sick. He was the only one sitting down, and the bags under his eyes could have held his luggage. Honestly,
So I mean, he already I think normally looks like a hemophiliac.
Sure.
But you're saying no, it was something more.
Maybe he just normally has a shit ton of bronzer on
right? Maybe.
in the show to make him look just white.
And I just saw him fresh out the shower.
Yeah.
So he's normally translucent like a creature from the abyss.
Yeah. He looked good that night.
James Cameron, shout out. Where you at, Jimmy?
That's right. Searching for the Titanic. You can do it, James. Wow. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was neat. I wanted to go over and talk to them, but I couldn't think of anything that I would say without making me sound like a giant
So
asshole.
I'm gonna call out Middleditch though, because he live streams on Twitch, which I don't know if you know
does.
Twitch.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he plays games all the time on Twitch, and I
Oh,
reached
cool.
out to him, and I'm like, next time you're in SF, you let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time was the premiere of season 2 here, right? But he's like, of course I can't because I'm fully booked for
Sure.
press bullshit. But next time, Middleditch,
Next time, Middleditch. I mean, the thing is, we go.
you need to come on
Yeah.
the podcast and tell us if Zach Woods was actually coming down off some kind of heroin trip.
If only that, to defend Zach Woods of either defend him of being a heroin
Or
addict,
throw him
Right.
under the bus. It's
or,
cool.
Or
If-
we need an intervention. We can do that.
And if I may name drop another Silicon Valley star,
Oh, of course you
who
can.
I have had an actual encounter with, someone that I actually have spoken to.
Yeah.
I forget. Remind me of the
Jin
the
Yang.
actor who he plays Gavin Belson. Matt Ross, is that his name?
I don't
you're
know.
correct. That's
Matt Ross.
correct. That's
he
correct.
shops at my comic book store, or
No
has shopped
shit.
at my comic book store. Yes.
What did he buy? Do you remember?
He was buying stuff for his son. His son was also there, so they were buying like mostly kids comics. His son likes Minecraft. And we have
Are there
there.
Minecraft comics?
There are there's Minecraft books that we sell at my comic
Okay.
book store, the Escapist Comics bookstore in Berkeley, California.
In Berkeley, California.
Which also has a podcast.
Yeah.
That you are in no way associated with.
Jacob actually has delivered to me without charge the each issue of the Big Trouble in Little China comic book.
We're now very behind because I haven't seen you in a few months.
I understand that, but you got me up to issue 7, I believe. which
Great,
is
I can catch
kinda
up from there.
awesome. What's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
But there you go. So again, we're talking about the series. Are there any stories that stick out to you? We're talking about the actors and all this, but
Sure.
your experience with the real Silicon Valley, good, bad, indifferent, tech bro douchebags, has it been a positive? You've
Well,
lived here your whole life.
Recently, I have encountered what I consider to be the epitome of the tech bro douchebag because I have been. So one of my other jobs is I run private trivia events.
Yeah.
And recently I became tapped by a tech company that I will not name on this show for the sake of them hiring me again.
Okay.
But I'll tell you guys later.
But I know who it is.
You know who it is.
But we don't say company names, but I know who it is.
Right.
It's kind of a big deal.
It is.
It is a big deal.
And they're
Yeah.
very nice and they pay me
big
well.
deal.
And
Is it Hooli?
It is Huli. It is Huli. When I show up to work, I have to have one fat guy, one Indian guy, we travel in
There
packs
you
of
go.
5.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
going back to season 1,
Yeah,
folks.
season 1, and they just serve us Burger King.
Yep.
Anyway, you've been doing the trivia.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been doing the trivia there, and there I've seen every type of personality that's been presented on the show. I see the two Huli douchebags who now work on Nucleus. Those two guys. Do they have names? But we always see them.
They do.
From season 1.
From season
But
1,
they-
they're introduced.
yeah, they've
I
been
even have a
in-
note about
They've been
them.
in all the Hooli.
Basically,
They do have
They
names.
work on Nucleus now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they've been basically whenever we need a member of the Huli Greek chorus, it's always those two guys.
Yep.
And
And in their defense, they didn't steal Pied Piper. Gavin did, but he assigned that to them.
Right.
So, yeah.
They just work on it because
But
we
they
need
are-
recognizable faces.
they are
And
douches.
They were the bullies.
They were the bullies, yeah.
on
Season 1.
yeah, on
Season 1, episode 1.
I can't remember. Thomas Middleditch. What's his character's name? I can't remember.
Richard.
Richard. Thank you, Richard Hendricks. They were the bullies. So I've seen those guys. I've seen guys like I think one of the people at this company is an actual Satanist. I think.
At the company you're speaking about.
the company
Yeah.
like Guilfoyle.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could argue that Jeff is kind of a Satanist.
Sure,
Not a
that's true.
Satanist. I just believe my mom lives in the closet. That's-
Why? The door is open a little bit more now. That's weird. All right.
Is that a finger? No.
No.
Oh, I hope it's not a penis. So
Things you didn't know about my mom for 200.
Why didn't you take me?
Anyway.
to Olive Garden,
yeah, so
Jeffrey?
I think that this is. I mean, I speaking as a human being with a liberal arts degree. I have yet to encounter.
Oh, you're a waste.
Yeah, I'm a leech on society. There's so much less liquor in the world that I have consumed that real good contributing people could have
I'm going to
consumed.
finish this novel one of these days.
I have a screenplay, thank you.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, and it's really
Sure
fucking
you
funny.
do. Yeah.
Maybe you should move to LA and ditch your improv group.
We are sketch, thank you.
Anyway,
All right. Moving on.
Yeah, no, I think it's real true to life. I definitely saw people who were just skating on the fact that they know the right guy and that I don't know what the fuck they do for this.
Well,
company.
the thing, you're an affable, fun-loving, approachable guy.
Good looking and interesting.
Yeah,
and
like
tall
a
and-
hairy Jack Skellington.
Sure.
But
I
are
have
you-
ruined Christmas a bunch of times.
I know you. Yeah, I know you.
I like that you're painting a picture for the audience.
But
Who can see us on a
listening-
camera?
Well, most people actually listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so you're saying to me, because, and again, we've all had experiences here,
Right.
but you feel you're a quiz master. You're the fun guy here for this party
Sure.
with this well-known, doing well company. So do you feel that these man children were they like just outrageous dicks to you? You know, were you getting a feeling of like
Everyone was very
like,
nice.
who is this peasant, this jester, if you will,
Right.
or
I wasn't doing comedy for these people.
no, I know.
I was
but-
being amusing because
Yeah.
I can't turn it off. I'm a machine,
You are a machine.
and what I provide to the universe it does not deserve. But
We're gonna get back into plugs.
Much like your screenplay,
Yeah.
much like the screenplay.
which no one.
By the way,
you
you can catch Jacob Rubin on King of the Nerds on TBS. He was the first contestant voted off.
Right, first one sent home.
But he's back on the finale and he does some great work.
Yeah.
I gotta say the work he does in the finale.
I
But
was on
again,
TBS.
Jacob can't turn it off. It's true. It's true. He was hanging out with Booger and Jesus. What's the
Lewis,
Lewis.
Robert Carradine. Yeah,
That's right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
legitimate
an
guy.
amazing experience, and I met some really awesome
which
people.
season was that?
Season 3.
This past season.
Oh,
I was
shit,
in.
okay.
I was in 1/4 of the episodes.
So you weren't in the Panzer season.
No, with Nicole. No, not Nicole.
Is that her name?
Trade chat.
Trade chat.
Yeah, no, not with Nicole.
Oh, I know her.
Okay. Oh, you know her. You have a relationship with her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we know how we're plugging
No, this is
in the
interesting
episode
because
synopsis is going to be King of the Nerds.
Role,
Yeah.
Her role in the show has been very interesting because she. I mean, I don't want to put anybody on blast, but
Go for it.
I went to the premiere. We had a party for the King of the Nerds premiere this
Yeah.
year, and everyone from my season came, all 12 of us.
Yeah.
And 11 out of 12 from season 2 came.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone but Katie, who is awesome, and she couldn't come for financial reasons. That's the only reason she would have been there. But we still have 11 out of 12. But only half of season 1 showed up.
Yeah.
And Nicole, no, not Nicole. Jesus,
I can't remember.
No,
No,
fuck.
it's not Katie. But
no, because Nicole.
I always refer to her as Panzer because that's her.
Panzer
her-
Trade Chat. Danielle.
Danielle.
Yes,
yeah.
Danielle.
All right.
Pink hair.
I have her in my phone. I have her phone number because like that. I know her well enough as Danielle Trade Chat because I don't know
Sure.
her last name.
Okay, I don't know her last name.
Because we
either.
know we used to do videos for the same channel, Vsauce, back in the day.
Vsauce, that's
and then
right.
we met at BlizzCon, and
Okay.
and, like
Do you think she listens to the show?
No.
because I have no relationship with her to speak of.
Yeah.
I've met nearly everyone, nearly every
This
King of
is
the Nerds
all like
person.
degrees of separation. But
Yeah.
I like Danielle.
Sure,
The way she behaved on the show,
she did not get a
Was-
positive edit.
indicative of behavior I've seen.
Gotcha. Okay,
Not all the behavior. I've seen good behavior.
gotcha.
I was not surprised at anything that happened.
Right.
I will be as politically correct, and we can talk offline.
I was a fan of the show before I
Yeah.
was on it. I watched seasons 1 and 2. I applied for season 2, didn't get it.
Yeah.
I was a fan of seasons 1 and 2 before I appeared on the show, and so I'm familiar with everyone's portrayal, so to speak. I did not watch season 3. Yeah, no, it's interesting because doing the reality show, you put a certain amount of yourself into this very weird setting, very weird, very unrelatable. Like I can't explain to anyone what it was really like to do this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Because like I tell you what it's like, and you're like, well, I can't. There's nothing that has happened to 99% of the people that I will ever interact with.
That- yeah, is
I watched
relatable.
that show Face Off on Sci-Fi. The
Yeah,
movie
me
monster.
too, me too.
Great show.
Yeah.
Frank from season 1 came into my store. He was the guy who was kind of a jackass in season 1.
All right,
and then he came back in season 4 and redeemed himself.
Well, I mean, number one, it's a very cool comic book store. It's in Berkeley. It's not. It's not
Sure,
Like,
that's not. I'm
No, but
talking
me-
about Frank.
I dig that, but the thing is, because you're going down this list of like all these very actually cool, B-list celebrities that show up at your shop.
We can go down to E.
No, well, sure,
For Frank
but
and
it's
me.
not surprising.
Yeah, when it's CBS, it's definitely C or lower.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like,
Matt Ross, I would put it at B. B and C.
definitely.
He's on HBO.
Definitely.
Yeah, he was on Big Love.
Yeah, he's been in a couple
There you
things.
go.
My wife
There you
was
go.
like, he was a guy on that other show. Like, we had to Google HBO, or sorry, Eddie Izzard Gypsy Show, which I don't even remember the name now. We just looked it up.
Jesus, not the two.
The Riches.
It's the Riches. Thank you. It's the something.
But Google, like, we just started testing Google. It's like misogynistic HBO show. And it's like, bam, I got your back.
well, this goes back to a previous episode, but I just find this fascinating that Matt
I wanna
Ross
get back to,
and Christopher Evan Welch.
I want to get back to King of the Nerds.
I know you
Right.
do.
That's
but
fair.
Matt Ross, Christopher Evan Welch, just for Jacob here because he loves trivia. Who was Peter Gregory? Who passed
right.
away.
He had nothing but incredibly nice things to say about it.
I mean, everyone loved him, but the
Yeah.
thing is, those two actors played brothers in NBC's First Watch in 1999.
No way.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah,
That's crazy.
Pretty cool. What's going on here? Okay, we got up and down and all
You
kinds of
basically
things
died.
happening.
Sure. So you had something else you wanted to ask me?
No, so you were saying that show's unrelatable to a lot of people, and it does.
no, I'm not saying
and
the
I wanna
show's
say,
unrelatable,
No,
because I think
your experience on the show,
the-
people can't relate to.
The way that
'cause-
reality television is structured, and this is coming from the perspective of someone who was technically on a reality show. But
Well, you were. It's not technical.
no, it's so well. But I speak to the other cast members, and I speak to other cast members on previous seasons who made it a little bit longer than I did, and they really felt like they lived there. I
Well,
felt
they
like
live there. Yeah. And this is where I want you to ask Jeff.
Sure.
The final quiz question that you got wrong.
you didn't watch.
no,
Okay.
So I want you to ask him. So the last. So Jacob and the other guy, who is that Mongoloid guy? That
Was it
douchebag?
Star Wars?
Ori is a very nice, very
I can
energetic
say
person.
it. I
who
can
is
say it.
very-
That guy was a moron, mongoloid, mouth breather, paste eating motherfucker. So they're both dressed as Godzilla in front of a large city that they have to crush when they get a
The
question.
way it works
right.
is we when
They're tied up to the end. They get all, and their questions about kaiju and all that.
the theme was anime, manga, and kaiju, giant monsters.
Yeah.
well-
which is my blind spot, honestly.
I don't know
Manga.
much about it.
but
either.
you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it right because Jacob overthought it.
So, no,
so
let-
what? Just ask.
Was
Jeff
the answer
final
Godzilla?
question. Yes.
See,
Yes.
look, you set it up like that.
No, but that. So okay, let me just say, if I was in a
answer
discussion
was
of that
Godzilla, Jeff.
at all, my default go-to answer just would have been like
Let me tell you the question.
fucking Godzilla.
Let me tell you the
Did
question.
you say Mothra?
No.
Well,
Let me tell
then
you the
you're
question.
so wrong.
It was multiple choice. The
Multiple-
question was
it's multiple choice,
which
too,
of the
Jeff.
following kaiju has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame?
Godzilla.
Let me tell you the
But it's Godzilla.
possible
It's
choices.
Godzilla.
Two of them were Gamora and Cthulhu, which of course are wrong.
Yes.
So it came down. It was as Colby Burnett, Jeopardy champion, says in the episode. It's a binary
Yes,
screw.
that's an I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
We've hijacked the whole show, but
Sure.
that's okay.
The two possible answers are King Kong and Godzilla.
Godzilla.
You would say Godzilla, but Hollywood Walk of Fame.
King Kong is not a kaiju.
Yes, Jacob, I was screaming at the TV.
Neither is Cthulhu.
Even though I already knew you lost.
Right.
So
But I
here's
saw
the
you
thing.
getting ready to say King Kong,
Hold on.
even though I knew it already happened.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You already know there's one answer that doesn't even fit.
Yeah.
King Kong equally does not fit,
But Cthulhu is also not a kaiju. That's,
King Kong is-
That's
yeah,
H.P.
'cause
Lovecraft.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, but then again, and this is what I said to you when you said King Kong's not a kaiju. Well, what about
Godzilla.
Pacific Rim? Those aren't Japanese either.
they
But
weren't on
King
your
Kong-
multiple
Those are a
choice.
Mexican American
American
creation.
and
Those are a Mexican American
No, the
creation
thing is,
by
Jacob,
Guillermo del Toro.
Jacob, here's the thing.
who
I
deserves
keep
a
asking
fucking
this
Oscar at this
because
point.
I thought
Rip
that maybe
headphone
you,
users.
you were overthinking it. You were overthinking,
know
which
what-
I understand that.
do you know why
But
I
it
thought
sounds
it?
like to this day you're standing by King Kong.
Yeah, it's okay to say you're wrong.
Do you know why I said it? Do you know why I said it? Because 2 months earlier, Don't Watch This Show was in Hollywood, and I saw so much King Kong shit everywhere.
Yeah, that's true, but it's not a kaiju. I would understand if the question was phrased
I once
famous
saw-
Hollywood monster or a movie monster, but it was phrased kaiju.
Here's the thing. This is literally the opposite of what I want to talk about in this show.
All right.
Is it literally the opposite?
It is literally the opposite.
Because this is fascinating to me how you could fuck up that question and claim that you're like game ending Jason, whatever the fuck, Jacob.
What the fuck?
What the fuck was
Did
your
you call
name
me
title?
Jason?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Game-ending Jason. I don't know what game-ending Jason
Ahead
is.
of the game.
That's it.
Yes, I was eliminated first on
You know,
a fucking
all
reality
right,
show.
all right.
You weren't eliminated
right.
first. You were eliminated after many multiple choice questions.
All right. We have
So-
to stop. We have to stop. All right, we have to talk
It's not
about
like you failed the golf
Server
cart
Space episode 5. We have to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with this.
He's so mad now.
No.
Because I called him Jason. Not
Everything's
because I'm
fine.
giving
Everything's
him
fine.
shit
I
about
think this is going to come into theme with Jacob's rage. So this was a great episode. There's a lot going on here. I'm just
I
going to
know
jump
why
into
Jacob's angry.
why is Jacob angry?
Jared's German night speech.
Oh
Yes,
my god! I
that's
really hope
exactly
that they
it.
would give us closure
Jared's
on
German night speech. So I did some research here. Someone, God bless them out there, or Cthulhu bless them.
Translated?
They translated.
All right.
So first, I
before
wanted
we
to
get
ask
there,
you, Jeff, because you
Jared-
speak German.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Jared had to move out of the garage in with Richard.
Yes,
He was
they-
living in the garage.
Live in the garage.
Yeah.
They go, you live in the garage? He go, high on the hog. There's so many quotes from Jared. High on the hog is how he describes.
But he has to
living
move
the
in with
garage.
Richard, who's having night sweats.
Having night sweats.
And
we have the return of Andy Daly as the doctor.
I love
Let's-
Andy Daly
Andy
so
Daly's
much.
back, yeah, which is great. What night sweats may turn into bedwetting.
Right.
Are you talking about sweating from your urethra? Another
Technically,
Jared
it is
line?
bedwetting. The bed is
back,
wet.
Back to Jared.
So back to Jared.
German. What did he say?
So we learned that Jared speaks German at night. He's unaware of this.
Right. He doesn't speak German.
So I'm going to give you the
waking life.
translation, Jeff. But first, you speak German.
Yeah, not well enough to.
Okay. Did you catch any of the words?
I wasn't paying that close, and I did not watch a second time. I did not. Like, normally that's the kind of thing the second time I would like go and look at, but I didn't.
So the first time,
lazy.
the first time, so we get 2 of the night German Jareds. The first one is kind of quiet, and it's kind of like German, like
That's Spanish.
whatever.
That's Italian.
So this is again, this person and a lot of people gave it thumbs up here. This is on I think it was on the Recode message board here, but someone did this. So what he's saying is like, no, that is what they want, but how can they all be dead? I will sneak up on him and slit his throat. So that's the
Fuck.
first one.
Oh my god!
You know who I could see saying that? Christopher Waltz.
Christoph Waltz?
First of all,
Yeah.
Christopher.
Yeah.
Secondly,
Jason.
Christoph.
Jason, do not criticize me for getting an answer wrong.
Jason.
Secondly,
and Christopher. Yeah.
this feeds into my theory that I've had since the series began
What's
that
that?
Jared is a clone of Hitler,
Oh, ooh.
much like. Do you
he's
watch
like-
Archer?
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Okay. So
the-
Jared is like he's a clone, but the clone body got stretched, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Okay,
Hitler was a
so-
very dinky man.
So the second time here, we got to watch time here, boys. The second time here, is where Jared is now shouting. So that was the
Right.
quiet one. The second night, the shouting is very terrifying. Like where he's like, whatever he's saying.
Right.
So what he's shouting is, I won't do it in the shout. He's shouting, "Do not resist, die, mother, die." Get into the cage, you slut.
Fuck.
Fantastic.
Oh my god!
And for those people who speak German, how wonderful and terrifying that must
And
be.
he's
but-
laughing when he's saying this.
Yes.
Well, no,
He's smiling.
No, the second one he's angry. That's
Right.
the angry.
The first one he's giggling.
First one he giggles and says, "I will sneak up on him and slit his throat" at the end, which is terrifying.
So, like, since we're running out of time,
We're doing
Jacob.
good,
Are we?
but yeah,
yeah,
there's still things we gotta get in here.
But is
yeah.
there one specific thing that you want to talk about in this episode?
Yeah, fair question. A scene,
I
fact.
I've been very much enjoying the amount of screen time that Big Head has been getting this season.
Yeah.
Like
Spaghetti,
because
Nelson Spaghetti.
yeah, because he clearly
Baghead. You mean Baghead?
Baghead. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's so. How can someone as intelligent as Gavin Belson say that and not realize that he's saying something terrible? I love that.
Every time.
Every time. Baghead. No, it's his
Baghead.
name. Baghead.
Yeah.
Big Heady. Baghead. No, and his building of a potato cannon. And also the other guy who's the other head of XYZ.
Yeah, the straight laced guy who quits.
Right.
Yeah.
He was on Mad Men, where he played a stand-up comedian named Jimmy Barrett. It took
That
me a while to
is
recognize him.
correct. That
The
is correct.
masturbating monkey was his big invention
That
this
was
episode.
That was great. The monkey. Yeah.
Which Ryan posted a good what was it, blueprint of or whatever on our
that's
Facebook
right.
page.
That is correct. I can't find it here. Kiko the monkey, right? The monkey who had both arms. So the character's name is Davis Banachek. Patrick Fischler is the actor.
Patrick Fischler, yeah.
But I guess Davis Banachek quit. So we have a great actor who was on 2 episodes. It had maybe 6 lines.
I
It's
bet
kinda
he'll come
weird.
back.
Yeah.
I bet he comes back
Hooli
in some
XYZ,
capacity.
yeah.
Maybe he's who's the douchebag who's funding Pied Piper now?
Hanneman.
Hanneman. I
yeah.
bet he somehow gets embroiled with that guy.
Maybe.
'Cause
I
Hanneman-
don't know.
I think Hanneman likes to
don't know.
pick up people who have been rejected by Hooli. I bet that's like sort of he like hangs out in their wake and gives them money and spends it on cocaine.
That could be.
Yeah.
That could be.
That's a theory. It's a theory.
That
right.
was like one of my favorite scenes in the show because I can relate to it. Was the Baghead scene when he's like, "Hey, we're gonna launch Nucleus like next week," or I don't even remember at CES or whatever. We're gonna launch it. And
They're still saying January, but we don't know what month.
whatever.
they're in.
But the fact that no one in the development team knew that, like. My wife knows this too, but like
We're
so
6
many
weeks out.
times,
We're 15 weeks
marketing
out.
Yeah.
companies and or like financial people decide dates, and they're like, "By the way, you're shipping then," and you're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, we're gonna be. They're gonna. Nucleus is gonna stream the UFC fight.
Right.
Yes, that's what it was
completely
for.
from middle out, and then we see that the 2 guys we were talking about, the original tech
bros, yeah.
They say no, we're 6 weeks behind. They say that to their supervisor. Supervisor says, "Well, I'm not going to tell Gavin. You can feel free to tell him." Then another programmer walks up to those guys and says, "No, we're 15 weeks out. What are you talking about?" Then a third guy comes up like, "No, I don't even want to know."
Right.
So what we learned here is Nucleus is
In rough shape.
really rough shape.
Yeah.
Because if it's greater than 15 weeks, I mean, they're not going to be ready for the CES.
That's the
in January.
implication.
And that's something that I think is important with this show. I think that at the end of the day, it's very important to know that Richard Hendricks is essentially one of the defining programmers of his generation. He is a genius. He can create this amazing program by himself with no assistance, but his problems are every other aspect of his life. Like if he could just get the backing and not have to worry about any of this other shit, then he would be doing fine.
I'm with you. I'm not going to say that our character isn't supposed to portray a very, very gifted individual, but I don't think that it's about him doing it alone, because what we saw in this episode...
No, he needs the group.
He needs the group, but each member of the group has... Guilfoyle had showed us special powers.
Sure.
Guilfoyle showed us of... because what happened here is Gavin Belson got word of this. So again, they were trying to get office space, okay? They had $70,000 to spend. So they wanted to get this office space, but then they discovered that Gavin Belson contacted all of the other web hosting companies because of the fact that Hooli uses that. And they used the names Rackspace, SoftLayer, which is IBM, Amazon as well. And basically, and Belson said to them...
They got blackballed.
Yeah, don't do this. So we learn of one of Guilfoyle's talents is he's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and build our own server internally in the garage.
Yeah.
Now, what I found interesting, and maybe other people at the table will, is this is actually based on something that a company called Zynga did. Zynga was actually renting server space on the cloud, and what they did is they spent $100 million to build their own internal server to get off of the cloud. What they're doing currently is they actually have now stopped that. They've gone back to the cloud, and they're renting out the server that they built to actually get $100 million, basically to deal with a $100 million loss, is what's going on with Zynga. That was actually what the website Recode had to say about this particular episode today.
We lost
which
what
is
we were
interesting.
talking about.
All right. No. But what we were talking about is, again, the team. But I would agree with you that what Richard is certainly our golden child, but we're learning that it's kind of like Avengers, X-Men, or whatever. But that without the team...
He's Tony Stark.
Yeah, without the team, they're not going to be able to get there,
Gotcha.
you know?
A little less alcoholic than Tony Stark.
Yeah. Have we ever... Oh, I guess he does drink. Yeah.
What, speaking of drugs and drinking, what I found is weird is this is the first episode where we saw Guilfoyle get high. And then also Carla, who's the new hire, is getting high. Now, I don't have a problem with that, but I just find that that's a powerful statement as far as writing in a
There was an
decision.
even bigger revelation that Jin Yang's friends have friends.
It's friends of friends. It's friends of friends.
Who just hang out in. How big is the incubator? Like, how many bedrooms?
I believe it's like a 3 or 4 bedroom
House,
ranch style house.
But wait, so we have I can't remember anybody's names. Richard has his own room. Guilfoyle has his own room. Dinesh has his own room.
Yep.
There's the garage, which is where Jared
Ehrlich
is
has
staying.
his own room.
Ehrlich, of
so
course,
those
has
are
his own
4
room.
bedrooms. Okay.
But where's Jin Yang? Oh, on the chair in the living room.
Jin Yang is just sleeping out there. His friends are sleeping out there.
Right.
Now it looks like Carla is sleeping out there.
No, I think Carla's still living somewhere else.
No, she was sleeping there. She was sleeping there because there was a scene where Richard was walking around at night, I believe, because this is just before dealing with the neighbor Noah.
But she may have
Right.
gotten that was right after the stoning thing.
Yeah, I think they were just
might have just
partying.
been
They were just partying.
partying
and,
crashed.
you know.
Yeah. I don't think she lives there.
I do have issue. Just again, I'm sorry, I do, but apparently a week's time has passed in the universe here since last episode. Just 1 week's time, and they've made 6 other hires. That's pretty aggressive. They're not checking references or anything, man. It's
They're
6
probably hiring friends.
Yeah, I
At that
get.
stage.
Yeah.
Because then I thought about it, like Pied Piper's a hot. Yeah, okay, I guess so. But 6 hires in a week is an awful lot. But Noah, want to get back to this, is the neighbor, right? The neighbor in the wheelchair. I was just happy
Yeah.
to see this actor. This actor's name is Frank Collison, if you're familiar with him.
From the age, he's a Shield agent.
Yeah, he is a Shield agent.
Yeah.
No. I mean, he is, but not the same
No,
guy.
it's not the
Right.
same guy. No, but he's a character actor. I enjoy him in one of my favorite movies for the wrong reason, The Happening.
Okay.
I love that movie, The Happening. He's the guy that helps Mark Wahlberg, but keeps talking about hot dogs and mustard. And I like...
And now he's got ferrets.
Yeah, I know. That character repeats that line over, like, so you got the hot
Yeah.
dogs, you got the mustard. And this one, he's like, this is a neighborhood for families and for people with pets.
Right.
Families and people with pets. Families and people with pets. All right, so there you go. But that's going to play into our Scrum Masters quiz later. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
And we get that great thing with Ehrlich saying, like, listen, the reason that your rent has gone up so high and you're like, you can sell your house for so much more than you paid
Yeah.
for it is because of people like us.
That, and I thought about that. That's kind of the end closer line of the episode.
Yeah.
And as fans of the characters, you're like, yeah, but then you realize what that message is, and it's kind of like, no.
These aren't
it's a weird message. I don't know who to root for in that message, you know?
It's sort of because I feel like in every other media product, every movie, every TV show, everything, these characters would be the villains. But now these
Sure.
are heroes.
Yeah, well,
like
because
these are the big tech developers who want to take
Yeah.
over land and oust people out of their homes.
In an 80s ski movie,
Right.
These are the bad guys.
These are the bad guys.
But now it's 2015.
They want to bulldoze the community
Yeah.
center and build
Yeah.
a robot strip club where people get murdered.
Exactly.
You know?
But now in 2015, the skiers
Right.
are the bad guys.
That's
Yes.
and this
which
is
I'm happy about, actually, because skiers are terrible.
the second
Skiing is
time we've
terrible.
seen, I think, Ehrlich get really mad and throw something.
The season or just
Period.
It was a sign.
It was a sign.
It was
He
a
threw it on the
sign.
roof.
I forget what it was for.
The bike, the kid's bike.
Oh
the
yeah.
bike,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
What-
What did the sign said?
Can I just say,
something
I
that
have-
was,
It was a proposition vote
it was
of
a-
some sort.
Yeah,
It was
for some
an
measure, yeah.
inside measure, but yeah.
Can I just say I have an incredible soft spot for scenes in movies and TV shows when grown men attack children.
Oh, yeah.
This is that's why one of my favorite Christmas movie is Bad Santa.
Yes.
I just have this weird fuck those kids, man. Those kids are assholes. It's just so gratifying. And that was one of my favorite things from season 1.
I did see the Castro Bad Santa Sketchfest show.
No way.
Which was fucking awesome.
Who were their guests?
rolled
on the
out?
Billy
panel?
Bob was not there.
What was the midget?
the little person was
The
there.
little person,
Little person, sorry.
and his wife on the show.
Oh, sure. She's
The
a
Asian
comic actress. I forget
yeah.
her. That
she was funny as
actress's
hell,
name.
and the
Yeah.
director.
Zygoff.
The actor's name is Tony. something.
Tony.
Yeah, I think it's Tony Shalhoub.
Really? Huh.
That's an SNL
But the three
deep
Tonys.
cut.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, everybody.
Other
not.
other favorite Ehrlich lines. We're talking
No,
about
you're
Ehrlich
not.
lines. This
You're
was
not sorry.
I'm
earlier.
not sorry. I'm not. It's one of my favorite sketches. It's so fucking funny.
Earlier in the episode, Ehrlich says because he's trying to get new people into the incubator because he thinks that the Pied Piper guys are going to move out. Turns out they have to.
He was
move
pretty
back.
sad.
He was definitely
when he
sad.
saw the empty table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's keeping that team together because then we see immediately how Ehrlich does help because of the fact that this Noah character was going to report them for running a business in a non-business zone.
He's their bull in the china shop when they need him.
He definitely is. So it's showing the worth there. But also, as long as you're at-home business in a non-business zone residence within Santa Clara doesn't have customers viewing you, there's no issue there. I looked that up today. So that actually was no rule behind that except for the fact that Ehrlich just didn't want to pay a $500 license.
Sweet.
It's kind of weird that he wouldn't just do that.
Because it costs money and effort.
Here's a
Kind
question.
of strange. Like, why don't you just do this? Because he wants.
We
his
should get to the
$1 million.
quiz shortly.
I've a very quick question. Do we know what Aviato does? That's never come up.
No, we've never known where it is. Yeah,
We've discussed it.
Right.
We've come up with ideas on the first season of our podcast that you listened to, but you've forgotten now because
I actually listened to the first 2 episodes of this.
Yeah, Aviato.
Aviato.
yeah.
He didn't overpronounce it this time. He just said
No,
Aviato.
he's given up on that. I think.
No, but so earlier, I
lost the car, though.
just
Love
like
that
this
car.
line. I want to put it out here. As Ehrlich again is interviewing potential new people to replace Pied Piper, which is some Christian dog lovers site. But I just love the line that he says that Christianity is borderline illegal in Northern California, which I really appreciated. We laughed out loud for that. I like that.
I did. My wife did not. Just want to point that out.
Jesus loves me. This
Let's
I
see
know.
what page we do.
No,
hit
I've hit pretty much all of this. I also like again just Ehrlich lines is after that speech that we discussed with the neighbor Noah. He says, "How about that guest house?" Well, guess what? It is for rent. Our friend Jared's going to be staying there, and he speaks German in the night. I just like the phrase, he speaks German in the night.
Right.
That's terrifying.
The one other thing I wanted to call out was the incredibly touching and awkward kimono handover scene.
Yeah. Now, I bow, then you bow. And now you say something about how you don't deserve this.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Ehrlich clearly he did research online.
On Wikipedia.
Yeah.
he felt like Ryan to
and
me.
he called it out. Yeah.
He's like, I looked this up,
Yeah.
and God damn it, I'm going to use this note.
He didn't even have the notes. He memorized how it works. So there you go. Okay, so we're going to do the Scrum Masters quiz, but in closing, special guest Jacob Rubin. Closing thoughts on this.
Jason Rubin.
Jason JJ Rubin.
And we're here with Jet Wrongman.
Yeah, there you go. Closing thoughts on this
Brings me back
episode,
to
on the
kindergarten.
series, and on life itself. What do you have to say?
I think this is a great show, and it's the Mike Judge style of humor. I've followed Mike Judge's career. I mean, Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill. I mean, I think that
Propane and propane
what was it called? The Good Family, that really short-lived animated
I
series
didn't
he had
see
a
that
couple of
one.
years ago. It was not very good. It was sort of the same way that King of the Hill kind of poked fun at conservatives. that poked
I
fun
think
at
he was a
liberals.
producer on that. I don't think that he was.
It was the same kind of character design as King of the Hill and Beavis, and then Daria, which wasn't really his, but was sort of a judge
Idiocracy.
offshoot. Idiocracy. I very much enjoyed Extract.
Extract was interesting.
Extract. It was something that would never become a cult classic and didn't really have a strong statement like Office Space or Idiocracy, but it was still a nice movie.
It definitely was brave in going into some undiscovered territory as far as strange sexual relationships in a suburban setting. I would say that. I mean, it's worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
Great
but
cast.
I wouldn't say it's a favorite, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
story of my life.
I liked it, and I think that Mike Judge has yet to produce anything that I dislike, and this is a fitting contribution to his career.
There you go.
And and like I said, dynamite cast, man. I've been watching. I don't know how. Do you guys follow T.J. Miller's stuff at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see he told a story on Ari Shafir's storytelling YouTube series, This Is Not Happening, about his brain problems. He had major brain surgery. TJ Miller?
Now things come together.
Yeah, you watch this thing. It's 13 minutes of him telling what is easily the funniest video on this YouTube channel. He talked TJ Miller had a major brain problem while he was filming Yogi Bear 3D.
I would think that the brain problem was before.
No, the content's trying to kill him.
Or the
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
No,
well, we're not surprised about that, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't really convey anything about this except that it's amazing. But yeah, T.J. Miller is terrific, and I've really gotten into his comedy. Yeah, I love Silicon Valley, man.
Outstanding.
I'd watch it even if I wasn't asked to do a podcast about it.
Sweet.
You're a fucking liar.
Luckily, you were
I was,
asked to do
yeah.
a podcast, and
Okay,
then you
well,
were.
gentlemen.
And last season, I was like, "Hey, Ryan, can I be in Silicon Valley podcast?" And he's like, "No,
No.
But
No,
here
we
I
already,
am.
we already booked
As
shitty
if
guests
that,
all
as
of
if that
last
really
season.
happened. As if that really happened.
You get trade chat
Okay.
on here."
All right, but at this
comment.
point, gentlemen, it's time to play the Scrum Masters quiz. Jeff,
do
can you
it.
explain to Jacob how we play? And we're going to jump right in.
You're going to answer questions. One of the answers definitely has to be Godzilla. And
man.
that's it.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we'll
So
start here.
Godzilla must be used in one answer for
Sure.
both of us.
So we're going to go with...
We'll make it fair.
We'll go with question one. Jeff, you go first here. So Jacob, how it's done. Jason, how it's done. Question number one. So we were talking about the kimono.
Right.
That Ehrlich presented Richard with a kimono, and he explained this
Yes.
whole nonsense. So what is the proper way to receive a business card in Japanese business setting, Jeff? What's the proper way to do that?
First, you must drink a tea together
Drink a tea together.
and
okay.
toast and drink it and sip it, right?
Interesting. All right.
Then one exchanges a handshake, very
Oh, a handshake,
but
really?
very firm.
In
You do
Japan?
not grip hands.
Weird.
You touch them like
Oh, so just touch
palm,
hands.
palm to palm,
Huh. I thought
and
they
shake
bowed,
hands.
but that's weird that this
Then-
hands. Okay.
One of the businessman giving the card
Giving
puts
the
it
card.
in the mouth of a mechanical Godzilla, and it
Oh.
then walks over to the
So
other
like the wind-up
businessman.
kind that has the sparks in the mouth?
Yeah.
Love
Does it
those.
burn the card?
As the businessman goes to grab the card out of the Godzilla,
Yep.
the man giving the card must bend at the exact same rate, so they are
Okay.
equal.
Okay.
And if the other businessman needs to send one back, he sends it back in the Godzilla.
And what are the men wearing?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. They could be naked.
Okay.
They can be in
But it
sumo
doesn't matter.
outfit.
It
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. All right.
The rest of the ritual is important.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you know your stuff.
Yeah.
Jacob, what do you think? I mean,
It's
he
just
could be right. But,
That's pretty close. He left out the part with the 10-minute hug.
well, there's a 10.
It's a 10-minute. It's a 10-minute.
Is that
hug.
before or after the Godzilla?
That is right after. It's the
Right.
last part.
Okay.
Is it
It's the final step.
God damn it.
In silence, is there breathing?
And they're whispering Godzilla, Godzilla, Godzilla.
So
in each
how
other's
so
ears.
they get
Oh, the Blue Oyster Cult.
Right.
There goes
so they get in real close.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
There goes Tokyo, which is
There
unfortunate because
goes
usually
Godzilla.
this is in Tokyo.
No, but just close in
Yeah, just breathing.
10 minutes of that.
10 minutes.
But it's all pixelated because they're not allowed to show any kind of sexual contact.
Right.
Interesting.
The moment they touch, just pickles appear around their bodies.
Is it a hips in hug? Hips in or hips out?
Hips in
It's a hips in hug
Hips in.
with the
with the tips, the penis
10
tips.
minutes.
10
Tip to
minutes.
tip.
Tip to
Okay.
tip.
Wow.
Well, you know what, guys? I mean, that all sounds great, and you're probably both right.
Sure.
I mean, we are. I mean, I just missed a
yeah.
part. It sounds
yeah,
like.
he was really close.
But some people say that the proper way to receive, again I asked receive, not give, receive a business card in Japan is to receive with both hands. Once upon receiving the card, confirm the name and title, say thank you, and then if an individual place the card on top of your card holder, text facing you, or if receiving multiple cards, place them in left to right fashion and as far as how people are sitting around the table. Now, some people say that. But we all know the correct answer is the proper way to receive a business card in Japan is to immediately give them a big bag of rape tentacle hentai.
Oh my god.
So that's the answer. You guys were close. Okay, so we're tied up there on question one. We're going to go into question two in the Scrum Masters quiz. Jacob, we'll start with you.
All right.
So we noticed at the end of this episode, our neighbor Noah kept ferrets. Right, and that's what Ehrlich used as
Ferrets.
because you can't keep ferrets in the state of California as
That's
a pet. So they used that as their blackmail, like you better not report us. In the year 2011, Jacob, what animal was officially licensed, completely fully licensed, as a service animal allowed to accompany the owner on public transportation in San Francisco?
I'm gonna
Bonus
guess,
points for the name. I'll take the bonus points for name, but there you go.
Wait, a specific
The
animal?
specific name, but also I'll take the species. What animal? And a specific name.
I'm
yeah.
gonna guess capuchin monkey because I know that's a popular service animal.
Okay.
In many parts of the country, going as far back as the first season of a hit sitcom called Friends.
See, this
Okay.
would have been an easy Kaiju Godzilla out, but now
But
you got
see,
to
the
use
problem
it on
is-
your third answer.
I used it.
But the problem is, you went all the way back to Friends, and I said in the year 2011.
Yeah, but it takes a long time for laws to make it across
Oh, you're right.
across the
Because
country.
of the Oregon Trail.
No, because they
Yeah.
have to pass through the Midwest, where ideas go to die.
and I-
Bible wall.
And as far as I,
mean,
can
the Bible
tell,
belt.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't really understand why ferrets are illegal in California and not in many other
Neither. Well,
I think it's
especially
only.
when I'm going to tell you what this is.
I actually looked this up not long ago.
Yeah.
Ferrets are only illegal in like 4 states.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. Like, why? What makes those 4 states special? But I'm gonna guess
Racism.
capuchin monkey, and I'm gonna guess that the name of the capuchin monkey is Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc, the monkey.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, it sounds right.
Yeah.
Jeff, what do you think about that?
He's close.
Yeah.
He got the Friends tie-in correct, but it's
did,
not
he
a
did.
monkey.
It's a
Oh,
chicken
is it a
duck.
cast member?
No, it's actually a gerbil,
Oh.
and the gerbil's name was Chenandler Bong.
Chenandler Bong
Mrs. Chenandler Bong.
is a service gerbil.
Yes, service
How
gerbil.
does a service gerbil help the
It
individual?
cleans your butt.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you just
Services your
how do you get it in
bunghole.
there? How do you get it going?
Climbs in.
There's many great
Do
videos
you
about
whistle or
Yeah, YouTube.
this. You whistle.
Okay.
You whistle out your butt.
YouTube.
You YouTube
You
how-
use YouTube.
how to
and it goes-
gerbil
all right,
butt.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Wow. Well, I mean, those both sound right. Now, some people say that in 2011 in San Francisco, the animal licensed as a service animal was Skipper the iguana. The
Was
owner-
it an
His
iguana?
name is Cosme Silfa. And Cosme, to this day, is riding on Barton Muni with a fucking iguana on his shoulder because it calms him, according to his psychiatrist.
I know a guy who just got a emotional distress dog permit. Like he got his doctor to write a
So
note
he
that
only
says
can have emotionally distressed dogs.
no, that he's emotionally
He's got like 40
Suicidal dogs.
He's got like 14 of them.
he's emotionally distressed and needs a dog, and that's so far from the truth.
Wow.
He just wants a fucking dog.
I know
know
people
what?
who have emotional distress pets, and I
It'd be fine if you had some kind of emotional
right.
issue.
Fine, a cat or a dog, like an actual mammal that
Yeah.
wants to give warmth and be cuddled. A fucking iguana? Have you ever tried to cuddle an iguana?
Yes,
I have too. They don't. It doesn't work.
I saw a guy at one
you
time
might
I was-
kill it.
I was at a spot called the Smokehouse, which
Its
is
tail might fall off.
a late night burger spot in Berkeley,
Yeah.
which is delicious. And a guy had a squirrel that was just running around him, but the tail was trimmed, so the squirrel couldn't go squirrel couldn't really climb.
That's insane. So he has an actual rodent,
An actual rodent.
but ferrets are nothing makes sense in California.
Anyway, question 3.
No. But the thing is, everyone. Some
we need
say
your
it's
answer.
Skipper
Yeah,
the
yeah.
iguana.
Right.
Some say, but the truth is, in 2011, what animal was licensed to accompany this person on public transportation is an Oakland Raiders fan. There we go.
Sure said.
That was just for Jeff.
freely available on the streets.
Sure.
What animal? Okay, so we're all tied up here. We're going to go with question 3. Jacob, as always, question 3 is Price is Right rules. It's going to be a number closest without going over. So we're talking about the beginning of this episode. They were looking to rent office space for Pied Piper. As we know, they had a check for
Yes.
$70,000,
Yes.
which they were going to put down on this office space, but in turn had to use that in order to build their server back at Ehrlich's house. Right now, what is the current, I'm going to go with average, but the closest is fine, the current average office space rent in San Francisco per square foot? So dollar amount per square foot in San Francisco as of what I checked here was actually very recent, but we'll go ahead and call it Q1 of 2015.
So wait, do we know the square footage of the spot that they were trying to rent?
You know, I was going to ask that. I was guessing, first I was thinking 2,000 square feet, but I'm thinking it's probably larger. But do you guys
Yeah.
agree that maybe that was 2,000?
That was a huge ass office.
Yeah.
What's huge? So maybe 4,000?
I mean, it didn't even have a conference
Maybe
room. It had a
twice
conference
as big?
nook.
Yeah, I would believe that.
So if it's
4,000.
twice as, well, let's go with 4,000. So I can do the math there. So
Sure.
All right. So now I know what the cost is, which again this is just ridiculous, but it's truthful. But again, so price per square foot.
So wait, it was 70,000 It was 70,000 for a 4,000 square foot.
Well, it was they were putting 70,000 down. It doesn't necessarily
Right.
mean that it costs
That could be 2
$70,000.
months rent. That could be
That's true.
down payment.
I'm gonna. I mean, Jesus, I don't know. This is two things
It's all
that I
right.
don't
Price
know.
is Right rules. It's
Rent
fine.
and math. So close,
This one, just go for it. Price is Right.
close without going over.
Yeah.
I'll say it's. Okay, wait. 70.
I'm gonna guess $40 a square foot,
Okay, there's a legitimate guess.
I'll say 56.
but you can get a discount to 5 if you provide free IHOP.
You got in the fucking IHOP. That's Jason. If only you knew why he was doing that, Jason.
Right.
Okay, so Price is Right rules again. Let's go ahead. Let me hear the numbers one more time,
40,
gentlemen. Jeff,
56.
40 and 56.
I could've
Ladies and
just said
gentlemen,
41.
Thank you for not.
due to Price is Right rules, our winner is Jacob Rubin. The price is $69.71 per square foot. You know what's behind San Francisco? Manhattan at $69.68. Therefore,
USA.
a 4,000 square foot office, which is certainly, I mean, that's not too big for actually the
Right.
staff that they're doing. If I broke that down, that would be $280,000 a year for office space. That's how it is right now. It's a little ridiculous. That's a little ridiculous.
You can
you
get
go.
cheaper.
You get, and again, that's
That's
that's an
average.
average.
If you want to truck out to
$69.71.
No, like we had a
But if
South
you want
San
a
Francisco.
Class A building, you want all the good.
2 years ago, which isn't that long. Rents have gone up, but not like doubled, right?
Sure.
We had pretty amazing office space at 8th and Mission we were looking at.
Oh, wow.
That was
That's very nice.
pre-Twitter move-in.
Pre-Twitter.
No, it was above a homeless shelter next to a subway where homeless men would sleep and throw up all the time. Anyway.
But Jeff, there's a point there. Is at $69.71 a square foot, still in San Francisco, you're going to deal with a rampant, terrible homeless vagrant problem right outside the door of these very
On the low
expensive-
side of that average, you will.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. All right,
Anyway.
so there you go, everybody. That was episode 5, Server Space. I want to thank our guest for this episode, Jacob Rubin.
Hi.
Jacob.
Thanks, guys.
For the millions of listeners out there, where can they find you on the Twitter sphere,
at Jason Rubin.
Facebook, your home address?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Both are at Jacob S. Rubin. Rubin like Rick Rubin, not Rubin like the sandwich. Oh. Yeah, just to be clear. Jacob
Rick
like the
Rubin,
Twilight
I like
character.
that, yeah.
S like
Sandwich.
Super Nintendo.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like
There you
sandwich.
go.
I have 3 podcasts. 2 of them are hosted on Ninth Floor Radio. One of them is called Comedian
right.
Rhapsody,
That's right.
where I interview comedians about music. The other one is called Character Study, where me and my friend Tira Mari talk about Super Smash Brothers.
Jim R, terrific, funny comedian, but also a terrific artist.
Yeah.
He makes some fucking great flyers here in the San Francisco comedy
Yeah,
scene.
he's Tira Mari. It's a lot of fun, and that's our favorite thing to talk about. We just talk about Smash Brothers. Every episode is about one character.
fucking nerds.
Gonna run out of characters.
Fucking
It's
nerds.
we're going to do 55
Whoa.
episodes.
Whoa.
Anyway.
Yeah, and then also the Escapist Comics podcast, where Jesse Hett and I, and also Jessica Schneider, another co-worker of ours at the Escapist Comics Bookstore, discuss comics every week. That one's a weekly, the other 2 are bi-weekly.
What's your favorite comic that you're reading right now?
Right now, Afterlife with Archie.
Wow.
It is a comic where the Archie gang in Riverdale are attacked by zombies. It is a full-on adult book. It's really, really
Gory?
really gory,
Gory?
really
Wow.
good.
Okay.
And also, there's a new Archie's doing a whole bunch of horror books now. They've got that and a Sabrina book that is
Really?
straight up 70s horror. Rosemary's Baby.
No shit.
Really, really
All right.
creepy. In the only 2 issues are out so far, but in the second issue, Omen throws herself into a den full of lions, and you see everything.
Wow.
It's really good.
I like that.
And then also they just launched Archie versus Predator.
Fantastic.
Yeah, with art and the other
Fantastic.
two. The other 2
All
have
right.
art by regular comic artists.
Yeah.
This one has art by a regular Archie artist. So it's
It's the Archie style, but with the Predator.
but
in
with
it?
Predator, yeah.
Oh.
Only 1 issue's out so far, but it's going to be a 6-issue miniseries, and it's going to get the Predator just tracked Betty. They're following,
And then like red dot triangle on Betty.
They're following Betty specifically.
I don't want. Oh no, I do want Betty to die. I like Veronica more. I've always been a Veronica guy.
I like Cheryl Blossom, but that's just me.
You're going too
She's
deep
the
for me.
redhead.
All right. Well, there you go, everybody. Jacob Rubin, thanks once again. Yay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks so much. We will catch you guys next week for episode 6. In the meantime, any closing thoughts, Mr. Reitman?
Wieners.
Wieners. All right. Stay compressed, everybody. Bye. I have to pee.